How do you feel about gender discrimination?
Prejudging other people because of their gender, that's a sad fact and reality. I think that that's injustice and can ruin people's lives.
In our today's society, people have different beliefs and culture depending on how we see people's gender. And as a person who lives in a community who aims to build a growing society, we should be more open minded and accept the imperfections of others as well as how they define themselves.
I believe no one deserves this. It's ridiculous, and I'm sorry for those who are experiencing this. The LGBTQ plus community has faced and are facing active systemic prejudice and widespread discrimination.
Around June 28, 1969, the Stonewall Uprising happened. It was a series of spontaneous demonstrations by the members of LGBTQ plus community in response to a police raid that began in the early morning hours of that day. It was at the time where being gay is illegal, and when you're caught in one of these bars, you'd lose everything.
On June 26, 2015, the US legalized same sex marriage. Although it was a big step, why did it take so long? From the definitions of Oxford languages, homophobia is the dislike of or prejudice against gay people, while transphobia is the dislike of or prejudice against transsexual or transgender people. Where does it all stem from? Just like misogyny, it stems from the society we live in.
Have you or anyone you know experienced such discrimination? How did it affect them?
As someone who has a lot of queer friends and is queer myself, I've had my time experiencing discrimination against this heteronormative world. Growing up, most of us have been thought to fit in the binary that we're nothing more than the gender that we are assigned and we must act according to it. Feminine boys tagged as gay, masculine girls tagged as lesbian, people telling me what to do and what not to. It's extremely frustrating having to face this almost every single day. And it's not just me, but millions of other people outside and inside of the LGBTQ plus community. If we continue to discriminate other people solely because of their sexuality, gender, and the way they express themselves, we're perpetuating the culture of hate and emotional trauma, and it has to stop.
I have yet to experience those tormenting things, but I know for a fact that living as a woman in this society is difficult. I am placed at a disadvantage for being a female. To be prim and proper is how a woman should act, and that is what has been engraved to everyone's mind. It affects us deeply as we can be free to express ourselves.
What does gender discrimination have to do with human rights?
People deserve to be treated equally. Therefore, gender discrimination has something to do when discussing human rights. Being discriminated is definitely an offense against a person's identity. It gives a negative impact that might cause pain and might affect their mental and social well-being.
Human rights are simply rights because we exist as human beings. It is universal and applies to everyone in the world. We cannot be for human rights and practice prejudice towards people of different gender simply for being the way they are. It's very hypocritical. Gender is a major part of a person's identity, and it's our obligation to respect it.
Any idea how we can promote respect for human rights?
We can promote respect by educating everyone about human rights, and by educating them is to also apply it to ourselves. Show people that you have respect towards others, and that way we can be a model and let them follow our steps.
I can promote respect for human rights by doing research about it and educating people on social media of such matters. And for victims of human rights abuse, I will comfort them.
There is a saying, paano ka rerespetuhin kung hindi mo nire-respeto ang sarili mo? Let us prove to others that we are worth to be respected. We should know our rights, learn how to fight for ourselves, for the right. This prevents abusive people who underestimate our capabilities, because at the end of the day, it is better to fight for the right if you know what you are aiming for.
And call out discrimination in the media and advertising. Write to advertisers, marketers, and media outlets if you come across stories that portray any gender or sex in a reductive or unfair way. Don't support entertainment that is disrespectful to any gender or sex because this is still a human rights violation.
How can we perform our responsibilities as citizens in maintaining our community and country that recognizes human rights?
As citizens, we should be properly informed about any human rights violation that happens. If ever things like that happens, we should be educated enough not to blame the victim, but therefore blame the oppressor or the one who is at fault. We cannot let these oppressors roam freely without them being taught how to act properly. As citizens, I know that we are fully capable of protecting one another.
As a student, I can perform those responsibilities by spreading awareness. My family, my friends, my peers, everybody I could reach out to. Another way is being a natural, decent human being who knows how to respect other people.
By doing the bare minimum, be a decent human. If we want the world to change, the change must start in me. Respect everyone equally, regardless of gender, and treat them fairly.
Any final words? Or any message you want to convey to our audience?
Just to be simple, I should say that every human life is valuable. Every gender matter. Nothing should rise, nothing should decrease. Just respect. Always respect whoever you meet. We all have the right to live freely. And do not let people around you shrink their world because of discrimination.
Over the years, diversity in our world are more prominent. Everyone should be used by people being unique and just expressing themselves. Everyone is different, and the society should accept and normalize it. Discrimination should be stopped, and by then, we can live peacefully without problems like this.
There is no superior or inferior gender. Don't let gender discrimination affect you. You know your worth, you know your rights.
We should know how to value and respect others because we are all valuable and we all deserve to be respected.
Think twice before doing something. Consider these questions. Will this affect someone in the bad way? Are the things I'm saying true? Am I being true to myself? Practice having an open mind and just be nice.
To those who are continuously being discriminated, don't be scared to speak up. Don't let them mute your voice. We are here to help you and fight for you.